Hiya everyone! Almonds. It's that time of year when our almonds are ready. They're lovely, these are. Look, they're so easy. They're so easy to peel. They just, look, they split like that when they're on the tree. They break apart. Look at that. And then that is suitable for goats to eat. How cool is that? Now this video ain't about my nuts. It's about this. Our new purchase. And in doing so, I've only got to give myself more work to do, haven't I? As if I didn't even have enough already. But this is to hire out in the future to bring in an income, but also friends and family will be able to stay in it. Let's take a closer look. Now we're hopefully going to start renting this out at a very affordable rate round about the beginning of next summer, but we've got quite a bit of work to do to it. We've got to get some gas safe certificates and just generally getting it all safe and the correct sort of paperwork for renting. So let's go and have a quick look. Look at that. I don't know what that means. Now it's an original Roma Supreme. We seem to think it was built in the mid-80s, and we've been told from the person that we brought this from that it used to belong to a Welsh traveller when it was first built. Yeah. So as you can see, there's plenty of cupboard units all the way around the top of the van. All the way around. Mirrors everywhere. Hello. Now originally, I'll just show you the bedroom quickly. And that has like doors that shut. Nice and bright bedroom. And a nice big window there at the bottom of the bed. Like I said, we've got these doors that shut, that separate it from the front room or living space. Obviously we have a sink, hot and cold water. Heated through gas. There's a gas bottle connected outside. We've got a gas oven with a nice oven there. You get plenty in. A grill at the top. What else we've got? We've got this lovely wood burning stove. Now this is the only form of heating. There is no gas heating in here at all. And I've been working on putting this flue up, which you can see here. This flue was leaking and I wanted to put twin wall on here, twin walled flue rather than single, just in case it got really hot and didn't want it to catch fire to the roof. But after taking it apart, it all looks good. But yeah, it was leaking a little bit as well, so it was dripping down onto the stove and making it rust. So we've got this twin wall flue to go on top. We've got all the special cows and all that, and we've got a lovely huge rain cap. I mean, it's getting there. Now originally this would have been a dry van, which means that there would have been no shower no sink or anything like that, because all of that would have been done outside originally. But it has actually been converted over, obviously with the kitchen sink that I've just showed you, and also this little bathroom has been put in with a toilet. And a nice sort of sink unit there. Look at that, mirrors, there's mirrors everywhere. All very chintzy, isn't it? It comes with chandeliers, it's even got chandeliers. Look at that. And then if we flick this switch, we get the purple lights light up in the cupboards. How cool is that? It's all quite posh really, but yeah, like I said, we've got loads of little bits and pieces to do on it to get it all sort of back to perfect, because if we're going to rent it out to people, it has to be perfect for them. And then it gives people a chance to come onto our small holding as well, and sort of enjoy the country, enjoy the forest, and enjoy small holding life with us. It'd be fantastic, yeah. I just can't wait to get it all complete and in a rentable state. Now this trailer, when it's rented out, it's going to be a totally sort of off-grid trailer. There's going to be solar panels charging batteries, and it's going to be, the whole lot is going to be a 12-volt system. Obviously there'll be the wood burner so the people can heat, and the gas bottle for cooking. So this would have been like a traveller's van back in the 1980s. I've put a little video together. Let's go back into time even further and have a look at some even older travellers' vehicles, like the horse-drawn ones.
We had a big family. My father had a big. We had a big family. My father had like a wagon for the boys, one for the girls. We had three, and one for my mum and dad with the little ones in, you know. And then most of the cooking was done outside. We all had big old pots on outside, big old meat puddings and things like that, currant puddings, you know, and sort of things we like to eat now, if you like. I still do. Yeah, I've still got my old pots and my old swing pan and things like that. We'd pull on a big wide grass verge. First thing, the horses would come out, so the horses, the children would all sort of run like wild, so it was, you know, a fresh place, you know, we'd all scatter around, and we'd then go and get a bundle of wood, and wherever we could get it, have a big fire, and we wouldn't be there long for a while come a policeman with his bike. He used to be on a bike them days. Yeah, you know, how long are you going to stop here, you know, so, but they'd let us stop the night until we got sorted out, but they'd be there again the next morning if we wasn't gone. We'd be outside all the while, right up until late at night before we went to bed, all singing sometimes. Gramophone on and my mother dancing, and yeah, it's quite different to what it is now, different to what it is now, different to what it is now, different to what it is now.
Now you can always trust some sort of fun spoiler to turn up and try and move you on, eh? Which brings me on to this particular story. It was probably about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, I used to own a funny little camper van called a Bedford Bambi, which was based on a Bedford Rascal cab. It was such a funny little thing, but I absolutely loved it. Well, me and my good friend Chris, right, Chris, if you're watching, we used to go on like one-nighters where we'd just park up and do like a wild camp somewhere, which often involved having a few beers and just having a bit of fun, really. Well, on this particular occasion, we went to a place in Essex called Higher Beach, which is in Epping Forest, round sort of Hainault Chigwell way. And so we found this lovely spot to park up, and it was sort of on the edge of like the forest, was surrounded by the forest. And the evening was drawing in, we had the curtains closed, and we decided to cook curry for our dinner. And while we was cooking the curry, we was having a few lucky lagers of the 8% variety, so they was quite strong. And all of a sudden we got on the door. That sort of knock can only mean one thing, so we've both looked at each other and just gone, that is an old Bill knock. It can only be the old Bill. So we've opened up the door, and lo and behold, yes, it was a copper there. So could you imagine the copper's face, really? Two young lads in a van. We was in our 30s, and I'd pimped up the van. I'd covered all of the seats with like furry leopard skin, and I also had a glitter ball hanging from the ceiling. It was very pimped up. So the copper sort of looked at us, and you could see all of a sudden he started feeling very, very uncomfortable, and I couldn't really expect much less of some of these coppers, really. But he said to us, he goes, oh yeah, you can't park here, you're going to end up getting a fine. So I said to the copper, I said, well look, I've had a drink, I'm probably over the limit, I'm not even going to try and drive. I don't want to risk my licence, and the keys were locked in a box at the front of the van. So I had no intention of drink driving anyway, and it's something I wouldn't do because my licence is very important to me. So he breathalyzed me, and he said, if you pass, you're going to have to move on. Well, I failed. And so did my mate Chris. He was more piggy-eyed than me. He was so drunk. He was on his like second can of extra strength lager. So he failed even more than me. So we were stuck there. We couldn't drive, and the police said, well, you can't stay here overnight. What you're going to have to do is sober up. You're going to have to stop drinking now, sober up, and when you're sober, drive. But we did say to him, how do we know when we're suitable to drive? But anyway, he looked very uncomfortable, and he left and went on his way. So we're stuck there, me and my mate, and we're thinking, what do we do? Are we going to risk a fine? We can't move because we don't want to lose our licences. We made a quick phone call to home, but it was impossible for someone to come and collect us and move the van. So only about 300 metres away was a building called the Royal Oak. So we decided to discuss the situation in the Royal Oak. Funnily enough, the Royal Oak served even more lager. So whilst discussing the situation, we decided to have a few drinks. And it was one of them nights that it's like everyone in the pub, all of a sudden, their twins turn up. Even the bar staff, their twins even turned up. It was one of them nights. We had so much fun. But until, guess who walked through the door? Yes, the blinking copper and his twin, of course. We hid behind both of our pint glasses, which I managed to hold in one hand, and we're hiding behind there, and he popped into the pub to see if there was any trouble or not, but luckily he didn't see us hiding in the corner, and he left sharpish on his toes again. So we staggered back to the van, no intention of moving, and we was going to stay there the night and just play it by beer and see what was going to happen. Well, the copper never turned up, and thinking about it, he looked so uncomfortable seeing two young lads in a pimped up vehicle with the glitter ball in the back that he probably didn't want to even turn up and check up on us again. So the night, I must admit, was a success, and it was 1 to us, 0 to that particular Queen's criminal. What a fun night we had. And the moral of the story is, be free. The only crime we was breaking was loitering with intent to bothering no one, so we wasn't really breaking any crimes, was we? So yeah, just stay put and have fun and be free. That's the moral of the story, and we did, and we had such a fun night. And the next day we went for a walk in the forest, we done a little bit of foraging, found some mushrooms, and came home when we was completely capable of driving. So that brings us to an end of another video. So as always, thank you very much for popping by. Now, just before I go, you might be wondering, what has a van like this got to do with self-sufficiency? Well, we are trying to make an income whilst being at home, not having to do a 9 till 5 job, and this sort of tool is going to help us to enable to do that in the future. So yeah, take care everyone, and we'll see you real soon. Have a good week. Bye bye.